lot of artists we don't know until, they pass away. How did you overcome any discomfort around pricing your work?
If you've ever done a wine tasting before, you got different wines, you got the glasses, you got the spittoon.
For the people that don't know what that is, not me.
A waste bucket
Got
for the wine you don't like.
Okay.
And so at this event, guess what they're using?
What's that? Your vase. What?
And I never forget, my wife looked at me and she said, you are not pricing your artwork enough. Because I'm creating the value and you're going to treat it accordingly. If that vase had been priced higher, it would have been on a mantle, not on a kitchen counter. And so when I talk to young artists and I see a beautiful painting and it's priced at like $50, $85, and I'm like, how would you feel if you walked into someone's house and your painting was behind their couch, not on their wall?
Let's shoot a more production.
What's up, guys? This is Brianna Moore. I'm your host of the More Than Money podcast, currently streaming on all podcast networks and YouTube if you want to watch. But today, guys, I have someone who is an extremely special gem in the Richmond, Virginia community. We have none other than Mr. Ron Stokes. Ron Stokes is an artist who speaks in color, a Washington, D.C. native, shaped by the Bay Area, and rooted in Richmond for the past decade. Ron is a self-taught street artist whose work blends abstract work from lived experience. His paintings are not meant to be decoded, they're meant to be felt. Each piece is created from emotion, intuition, and whatever the moment calls forward, telling stories of culture, history, and the world around us without ever needing words. And of course, this is a money podcast, and I found out something about you that maybe a lot of people don't know, which I'll let you reveal what your day job is. But but Ron is a person who can talk finance and art together, separate. We've had very long conversations about the world of money, and he's put me on game to a lot of things about art as well. So, guys, welcome in today, Mr. Ron Stokes.
What's up?
Studio audience. Boy, you see him?
Yeah, shout out. Thanks for coming.
I received that. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. We out here just trying to live our best lives. Wintertime, a little chilly in the air, but hey, we surviving.
Chilly is an understatement because it is blocks of ice outside right now.
I mean, I feel like this is what it'd be like to live on an iceberg or something.
That's true, and it's feeling like Alaska right now. I was mad at VDOT for a little bit because why is my neighborhood just now getting...
My neighborhood still got ice in it, but and I'm a Cali dude, so this is different for me. I ain't never experienced nothing like this. So.
You out here in the cold, you got your ankles out.
Man.
I'm like, but you came, I was like, you looking good though. I like the fit. The fit is fire.
Stay warm,
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, let's start because I want you to kind of tell the people what you do for your day job.
So I am in the investment world. I do some investing. I wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
That's why when people ask, what do you do? Well, I'm in the investment world. I also do financial literacy. And then I splash a little paint, So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it's funny. I went to school, was already in the art world, but I was like, man, I should probably get like a college degree, just something to fall back on, and went to school for accounting. Of all things. So I was like, if I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get something usable. Because I had friends that would go to school and they would get like the wildest degrees. And I'm like, what you going to do with a degree in like romantic Spanish? Like, how do you turn
romantic
that in?
Spanish is crazy.
That's an actual major.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I was like, let me get something to fall back on. And oddly enough, doing that has really, I think it made me a better artist, just understanding the world of business and money and finances. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you have an exhibit up right now. You've had multiple exhibits up, and I honestly haven't even been to as many exhibits since I've met you.
You know what? I am all about pushing the culture forward, and I've been blessed to be able to show my work in a lot of different spaces. But I do have my first solo exhibit in a while in the city of Richmond. Called Black and Blue, which was a very personal exhibit, very proud of it, exposed and was vulnerable in a lot of it, just telling some of my own stories and how different people and situations impacted me and what I learned from them. So, no, very proud of that at Chromophore Art Space through
Shout
February.
out.
I'm excited about that one.
You saw it? I did. I loved it. I love being inside of people's heads.
Okay.
Because this is something that you produced from a thought, an idea, an experience, and you were able to put that on paper and like show people, and people can come and ask you. And that's why it's so special that I know you, because a lot of artists we don't know until, they pass away.
Yeah.
So the fact that I know you and you're putting these exhibits up, and not all art is for everybody. Your art is for me. Like it's giving hype beast sometimes. It's giving Cause a little bit.
Yeah.
It's giving Virgil a little bit. Like it's giving all of the things.
Look at you with some art history.
I love your art. No, I legit love your art.
I appreciate
that. I had an amazing time. I brought a friend with me. We had an amazing time.
Good.
I wish I would have caught the talk though. I know y'all did an art talk.
The talk was good.
Yeah,
we dove a little deep into some of the pieces, told some more of the background and the stories. But anytime you want to know the stories, let me know.
Yeah, I know. Let's do a fire round so we can get into this.
Yeah.
Yes or no? I didn't send you these questions. I sent you a bunch of questions. These were not in the questions.
Okay.
I sent you.
All right. Catch me on my toes. What we got?
Yes or no? We can try to get through all 10.
Okay.
Art is a form of currency.
Yes.
Okay. Can money dilute the message of art?
Yes.
Does the city?
Yeah.
We can go back to any of them. Does the city shape the artist more than the artist shapes the city?
The artist shapes the city.
Have you ever created your best work while being financially uncertain?
My best work? See,
yeah.
That's a debatable question. I'm going to say yes. I've created some dope stuff when I had no money. But I've also created some dope stuff when I had money. That's a both.
It's a both. Take a shot. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, right?
Do artists undervalue their work?
Yes.
Can creativity be taught?
Yes.
Has Richmond changed your artistic voice?
Yes.
Is legacy more important than visibility?
Yes.
Okay. We can go back to this financially uncertain one because I do want to get into the business of art.
Okay.
And how you funded your first project.
Okay.
But you said you made some good art while you was broke.
Yeah.
And you made some good art while you won't.
So that's a debate I have with a lot of people, right?
Okay.
Because I said something at another filming one time where I talked about like artists create differently when they're not hungry.
Yeah.
Because people are always like...
I saw that interview and I thoroughly enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah, because I was like, you create different when you're not trying to pay bills. Because sometimes you take jobs you don't necessarily want to take and you don't have the time to invest and develop your own things, right? I mean, when you look at my current exhibit up Black and Blue, I didn't have to worry about like, will this painting sell or not? I didn't have to create the painting that was going to sell immediately. I created the painting about the stories I wanted to tell. And that's the difference. We all need money to survive in this world. We all got bills. And sometimes artists have to take the jobs they don't want to take or don't want to do because they got bills to pay. And so
how do you make art that you think is going to sell?
I think every artist finds their niche.
Okay.
And sometimes they like it and sometimes they don't. I compare it a lot to musicians. A lot of musicians got hit songs they don't like singing.
Got you. That makes sense.
But if it's your number one hit, you got to sing it.
Yeah.
You ever been to a concert and a musician ain't sang the song you want to hear?
Look,
and it be like they hit?
Yeah.
You be like, how they didn't sing it? They probably don't like that song. They tired of singing it. I think for artists, I've had that conversation with artists sometimes. I'd be like, yo, don't paint something you don't like. Let it be a hit. Now you got to do 12 versions of that painting to pay your rent. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's things you got to think about when it comes to the art world, especially something like that.
But it makes sense, though, that you can do this without having to worry about money. You can do what you want to do because you have additional sources of income. So do you recommend that? Like, do you ever see yourself doing art full time? I mean,
it's yes. That's a simple answer.
Okay, so you make enough money from your art to do it full time?
Yes and no. I think because of some of the responsibilities and some of the goals and some of the legacy I have for my life. Like my I have one daughter that's in college right now, another one getting ready to go. When my oldest graduates, she has no school loans. That's again because I was able to pour into that financially and take on that responsibility. So I think because of some of the financial goals I have for my life, I think that's why I balance multiple hats right now.
Mm-hmm.
But a key aspect of that, a lot of times when I teach financial literacy, we talk about the cost of living.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're able to minimize your cost of living by getting rid of debt and different things like that, you can live differently.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people don't realize, like, when you sit down and break down your monthly expenses, how much of that is debt? How much of that is credit cards and car notes and school loans?
Mm-hmm.
And you realize a third, a half of your check is going to someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And constantly when I talk about financial literacy, the biggest thing I talk about is getting out of debt and debt freedom, because I ask people a simple question. Add up how much you pay in the debt.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do with that money if it was yours?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a light bulb goes off in people. They like, yo, I could be traveling and not having to pay for it for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
I could be creating legacy for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so, just kind of looking at my own life in the way I got it set up right now. We got a couple hats at the moment, but no, I could definitely see myself being a completely full-time artist, and only doing that maybe in the next couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that because
Yeah.
I just had my first financial literacy class, which you subtly kind of inspired me to do, because I know you used to do financial literacy classes at the Life Church.
Still do.
Still do.
That's
amazing.
Yeah.
And I did the class, and at the end of the class, it was like an hour. I said literally, if you didn't hear nothing else I just said, the way to really get to financial freedom is to increase your income, decrease your expenses, and in my opinion, I think you should invest the rest.
But so here's the thing, a lot of people don't realize. They constantly think they need to increase their income, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens if you change the way you spending your money?
That's true. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you take. Because there's people making $250K living paycheck to paycheck.
It's about what you do with it. You know, I never forget, I had a friend that graduated from college, became a medical profession, was making 6 figures out of college.
Yeah.
And had like $90 at the end of the month. I said, why I got more money than you?
Yeah.
I ain't making close to what you make, but it was how he was spending his money. He got the big apartment. He got the Lexus. He got all the things. His expenses were so big, he wasn't able to really live his life. And so I think a lot of times people think they got to bring in more. But if you handle less poorly, you're going to handle more poorly. So you got to get those strengths, and you got to be able to strengthen those muscles to spend correctly, not overspend, not blow a lot of money on debt, and try to live this life outside of our means. A lot of us want to get the live a life for clicks, but it puts us in a horrible situation.
Yeah. So say there is somebody who wants to do what you do watching this right now.
Yeah.
Because some people may be where you were. I think that the journey, a lot of us want to get to the destination quick, but we really learn things in the journey.
Definitely.
So take me back.
I'm going to give you the shorter version of the story. 13-year-old Ron wrote his name on a building. And found himself knee-deep in the graffiti world and the street art world, and loved it and found it fascinating.
Like a marker, or you had like a spray paint?
Oh, no, I started with spray paint.
Okay.
That was back when there was some different brands of spray paint back then. But I started that and then grew into it, had some great guys in the graffiti street art world that taught me a lot, and really just poured into me as a young guy, which I think really taught me how to be a mentor.
Taught you like different techniques, or?
There was no classes for it. There was no internet there was no Instagram when I started.
How old are you, bro?
I'm old enough, but no, but like, you got Instagram is what, 10 years old or something? Like, there was no Instagram back then.
Yeah.
Nah, like they taught me, grew into that, started doing murals, fell in love with that. Got tired of watching my murals disappear. Where do I go from here? And then found myself into the canvas world and doing exhibits and showcasing my work. And it just evolved and grew from there. But like most artists, I had to learn a bit. There ain't no classes for the art business world. So yeah, I got a degree in accounting, but even that didn't teach me how to be a professional artist, right? There was no classes. It was no.
Did you get like an art degree too, or?
No, I had the last class I took in the art world was in high school.
How did you overcome any discomfort around pricing your work?
I had to figure it out, right? I had to find my worth. I never forget when I first started like doing like vending, like art events. I used to get these like $5 vases, and I would spray paint on them. I would do these abstract street art creations on a vase. I would buy it for $5. I would sell it for $25.
Okay.
I thought it was a great price.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people loved it. They
Yeah.
would buy them. And I never forget, I was at a friend's house and they were doing a wine tasting. And if you've ever done a wine tasting before, you got different wines, you got the glasses, you got the spittoon.
Okay.
And I never
For the people that don't know what that is, not me.
So a spittoon is it could be different items, but it's basically, if you don't like the wine, you could either pour it in the spittoon or you could spit the wine out.
Got it. Okay. It's like a waste bucket for them.
A waste bucket
Got
for the wine you don't like.
Okay.
And so at this event, guess what they're using?
What's that? Your vase. What?
And I never forget, my wife looked at me and she said, "You are not pricing your artwork enough."
Whoa.
And I think for me, that's when the light bulb went off, because I'm creating the value and you're going to treat it accordingly. And so if that vase had been priced higher, it would have been on a mantle, not on a kitchen counter. And so when I talk to young artists and I see a beautiful painting and it's priced at like $50, $85, and I'm like, how would you feel if you walked into someone's house and your painting was behind their couch, not on their wall? And for them, the light bulb goes off. And I tell them that same story about my own. And I'm like, you have to create a value that someone's going to appreciate it the same way you do. I think the hardest part for an artist is we love to sell our work, right? But we don't always think about how someone's going to respect and treat it when they take it home. And so you have to transfer that value. And so when I first started, I gave away a lot of artwork. I was talking to a buddy the other day, and he wants me to do a new commission for him. And he told me what I charged for the last original that he got from me. And I said, I charged what? I said,
how much you charge for it?
Man, it was like $400.
For an original?
An huge painting.
Wow.
And I'm like, you can't even barely get a print at that price from me now. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't have no originals that start at that price.
Yeah.
Because I had to find my own value and make sure that people respect it and treat it the same ways.
I love that story because I'm a very metaphorical person and kind of like an associative thinker.
Yeah.
So I think in images. So seeing the progression from you like, oh shoot, I'm making a profit. I'm making $20 on this, and then seeing how people treated it to how that literally and your wife. Let's talk about your wife too. Like let's talk about the females.
Yo,
and,
I mean,
y'all
so into us, y'all pour into us, and y'all help us realize our worth. And so she's been a huge support factor in kicking me out the door and getting me out there in the world, but also finding my value. You know what I mean? You got to have those people around you that see your value and see your worth and can speak to that.
Shout out to her. I've met her. She's so cool.
Yeah.
And I heard you speaking to someone at the Movers and Makers mixer, and it was an artist who she did art, but she didn't want anybody to see it. Like you were like, because she came up to you and I think she knew who you were. And I'm not even expecting for you to remember this situation, but you were like, let me see your art. Like, let me see the Instagram. And she was like, it's not on Instagram. And you were like, what you mean it's not on Instagram? And she said, I don't want someone to see it and steal it.
Yeah.
And you had to have a pep talk with her like, yo, how are people going to know what you do if you don't put it out there?
I think a lot of young artists suffer from perfectionism and they suffer from the fact that someone's going to steal it, right? But I always believe your best painting hasn't been done yet. And so, okay, they're going to steal that, but like, there's more from you. There's more of you. Like, people can't really recreate what you do.
Yeah.
You know, they could try, but they're not going to be able to.
Well, how you feel about Virgil saying he likes when people steals his art?
I love when Virgil made that quote, and I sent it to you. I was like, when he made that comment, like, steal it. It's the biggest form of flattery, you know? I think we got to think a lot of the stuff we create, someone might have done some version of it before. Like, we've been on this planet a long time. To think that you're the first person to think to do this or that, yes, you're going to do it in your own way and brings it some uniqueness, but like, you know? So no, I think, I think sometimes young artists get in their own way. Like, you got to put it out there and let the world see it and feel it. But
How has spirituality played into this for you?
oh, I mean, it's huge. I mean, I think one of the first acts of spirituality was creation.
Go ahead.
So,
Yes, Lord.
You know what I mean? So, I mean,
Yes.
creativity is huge. Like, we really have to, like, take hold of that. I think we're all creators in our own way. And when people start to find it, and again, it's a muscle. The more you strengthen it, the better you get at it. So, I think everybody has their own form of creation inside of them.
I love that. Biggest financial lesson you've learned running your business? Well, I kind of want to do it in both segments. I know you wear many hats, but
Yeah.
biggest financial lesson in art and also in the investment world.
I think the biggest lesson I was having a conversation with my daughter yesterday. She just got, my youngest, she just
Shout
got her
out.
first job.
Okay.
And she was talking about how she was like, oh, I'm going to save a little. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I was talking to her about investing.
Yeah.
I said, man.
And how old is she?
16.
16.
She
okay.
can't really buy stock right now, but
Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
She could with like
She could.
the custodial.
Yeah. And so I was telling her, I was like, you should really think about investing. She was like, I don't want to do that. I said, man, biggest mistake I ever made was not investing younger.
Yeah.
I blew so much money on dumb things.
Yeah.
Shoes and clothes and all the things, right? And I'm like, if I just took a little bit, back when I was in my 20s,
Yeah.
I said, y'all probably be a millionaire right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, especially in this day and age, like, of course, the fragment stocks and the apps and all the access to it that we have now, there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be investing.
Yeah.
No reason.
Are you? What do you do? Like, because I know my biggest investment right now is in myself.
Okay.
But I do still do my stocks and things. But what do you like to?
I think.
invest in?
I think. Well, I can't tell you that, but
Okay.
I will say that investing in yourself is very important. Investing in yourself is very huge. You see great returns, but you got to diversify, right? So I love ETFs, things like that.
Okay.
You know, I got a rental property, all those little things.
okay.
Like, I think all those things are important to diversify what you're trying to do. And it just adds to the sum of what you can build, right?
Gotcha.
So you got to find what works for you, but everybody should be, man, it's so crazy. When I talk to people that don't even have like a money market or like a high yield savings account, I'm like, well, where you keep your money? They be like, in my checking account. I was like, where it gets no interest?
Yeah.
You got like $10,000 sitting in a checking account. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah. And an ETF, just if you want to break it down a little bit for people who don't know what it is.
ETF is like a stock, but it's multiple positions inside that. But like even an ETF, some of those you can average 10%. You know what I mean? And a 10% return on $100 is $10.
Look,
$100 in a checking account, you getting 0.000000. You getting 1 cent.
Exactly.
You know?
I love ETFs. It's like a basket of stocks. I like the Vanguard.
Yep.
Listen, we're not financial advisors, so please ask a professional before you take any investment advice.
That part.
But I bought some Apple, three shares of Apple the other day. I think it was like $264. I looked at my account and I had made like $30.
Yeah.
And I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
It had went up to 273 or something like that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So it's like, you know, sometimes you see a quick return, sometimes you don't. I dollar cost average. So I'm putting some, or at least I try to.
Yeah.
I try to buy something once a month.
And that's good. Like, and then with apps now, you can set up a recurring buy.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So every month when you get paid, you could invest $5. And like I tell people, buy one less coffee.
Yeah.
Buy a little something. And you'll see remember, it's a long game.
It's a long game.
A lot of people think, okay, I'm going to buy some Apple today, sell it next Tuesday. And then they get mad because they're like, yo, it lost $5 this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you made 30 this week. You might lose 5 next week.
Yeah.
But then you might get 2 the next. Like,
Yeah.
but over the course of the life, if you have it for 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
it's a huge
I've had
return.
Apple. I put, when we got those stimulus checks, I put my whole stimulus check, $1,200, I put it into Apple.
And where's it at now?
I looked at it and it probably had gained, I mean, I'm up like 800% on Apple.
That's
so
what
it's
I'm
like, you
saying.
know,
That's
the
what I'm
return of
saying.
800% is extremely good for, I mean, what people want 10 to 15% per year. So 800 is like astronomical.
Yeah.
We did pretty well.
Yeah.
We
That's
did pretty
good.
good.
And I think that's the things we need to share, right?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people don't realize that they can do those things.
Yeah.
It's like you could do it from your bed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's crazy the way technology, and that's the things I was telling my daughter. I was like, yo, you could do so much more. And then what was the other half of the question?
I think that was it. Biggest financial lesson you've learned about running your business/businesses?
On the business side, and just a good gem is I learned that sometimes it's better to pay the person to help you.
Ooh, okay.
Because I have learned
Okay.
some things we don't do as fast.
Yeah.
Time is
That
the
delegation.
biggest time is the biggest asset right
Yes,
now.
sir.
And when you find qualified people that could do something that would take you a whole lot longer, that's what I tell a lot of young business owners. Look at your business and figure out what takes you the longest to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the person you should be looking for to help you.
Mm.
I could write a newsletter. It's going to take me 3 days.
No facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you could pay somebody that could do it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And in that 3 days of time, I could have been doing things that are more valuable or create more income.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a big thing, and it may not be a newsletter for everybody, but whatever those things, web design, like whatever it is, like editing, photography, whatever it is, find that person.
What have you paid someone to do? Or what? Matter of fact, what was the first thing you paid somebody to do? Where you were like, because it's hard to separate from your money when you're first starting out. And I'm asking because that's where I am now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. A lot of times I'm used to doing the content piece. I'm cool with that. But now I'm switching over to doing the administrative piece.
Yeah.
And that has bogged me down so much to where I don't even feel like creating anymore.
So that sounds like the first person you need to whatever that admin work that's bogging you down. Yeah. I don't know if it's invoicing. I don't know if it's just, creating copy, whatever that is. That's the person you should be hiring because it's also stifling your ability to create. Again, that 3 days that I would have spent doing a newsletter, that's 3 days in the studio.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And so for me, I think I don't know what the first. I know some of the big things that have truly helped me out. Website design.
Okay.
I did my first web design myself.
Yeah.
It took me like 2 months.
2 months.
I mean, I kept going back, changing, editing, switching. And then I had a good friend, an amazing business. Shout out to HN Creative Consulting. Came in, did the full audit of my website and was like, yo, Ron, you missing this, that. And those were things that could have helped it be better. So she was able to come in, did that for me. And then when the art scene launched, she did the full design on that. I would have been, again, 2-3 months. It's something that she did in a week, if that, probably less time than that. But over the course of me being a business owner, everything from, of course, content creation, photography, videography, website design.
Okay, so you outsource most of that?
I've outsourced a lot, but I've also been able to pour into a lot of others. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I really love about the art scene is not just the artists that we've been able to create opportunities for, but it's folks behind the scene and build up their businesses as well.
I love when you talk about the art scene. But so just a bit of context. The art scene is the business that you have kind of behind what you do. You do art, but the art scene is what you use to bring other artists in and create a source of income for them. And I have been to Urban Hang Suite, love Urban Hang Suite, and I see paintings in there sometimes.
Yep.
And, I didn't really relate it to anyone else in the city. I'm like, oh, maybe Kelly just likes put these paintings up here.
Yeah.
And then I saw you again at a different event and you were talking about the art scene. You were like, yeah, like we get paintings and we get artists to put their paintings up in Urban Hang Suite. And I was like putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, wait a minute. Tell me about the art scene, how I got started. And
man, it's crazy. The art scene, I remember it started, it didn't even have a name. It just, shout out to Faith Wilkerson, the homie.
Shout out to Faith, yeah.
I never forget, I called Faith up because, I travel a lot with my art. I'm going to different cities. I'm going and seeing different things. And even growing up in Cali, like I hit her up I think it was like the beginning of one year. And I was like, yo, Faith, why we ain't doing like art walks like I used to see growing up where you just go to a park or you go to an event and it would just be a bunch of artists. You could see their work, connect with them. And I never forget, Faith was like, yeah, that's a dope idea, Ron, but you probably need like 9 months, flesh it out, give it a name, all those things. And so I was like, all right, I'll holler at you later. And I never forget, it was, let's say it was like May 18th or 19th or something like that. I get this call from Faith, and she was like, it'd been like 3-4 months since we had the conversation. And she said, yo, Ron, remember that idea you had? I was like, yeah, about the art walk? She said, how's it coming along? I said, well, Faith, you told me I had like 9-10 months. I thought about it a little bit. I ain't even got no name. She said, well, you think you could do it in 30 days? I said, wait, what? She said, I have a situation. I said, okay. She said, I'm planning this event and I've made space for you.
Mm.
I said, okay, well, what's the event? She said, we're at Rockets Landing. I said, okay. She said, it's Juneteenth. I said, okay. She said, this is going to be the first Juneteenth celebration the city has done. Live music, fireworks, all the things. I said, oh, you piqued my interest. She said, we're expecting 3,000 to 4,000 people. I said,
Wow.
wait, what? She said, can you do this idea in 30 days? I said, we're going to try.
Mm-hmm.
We pulled it off. We had a dozen Black artists showcasing their work, selling their work. Those artists did over $10,000 in sales in one day. So what that told me was the city was looking for us. This was at a time when there were no Black galleries in the city of Richmond. All of them had closed. There was nowhere for us to show our work, to interact with the city. And it showed that people were looking for us. So did that. Jump a little forward to a couple months later, I was painting a mural in an amazing space, and they had these beautiful walls, and they were like, yo, Ron, what if you put your work in here? I said, yo, I'd love to showcase my work. But I said, you know, we're at a time where there's no galleries looking to showcase our stuff. What if we rotated? We could do a showcase every 30 days or so and feature different artists' work. They loved the idea. They loved the concept. We started doing that. Again, I had no name. I was doing all this stuff as like Ron Stokes Presents, you know? And I was like, finally, we were getting to, I think it was the top of the next year. And I said, I was like, all right, we gotta put a name to this. Like, what's the umbrella for this? And that's when the art scene came about. Spelled incorrectly on purposely. Spelled incorrectly on purpose. S-E-E-N. So it's the art scene, T-H-E-A-R-T-S-E-E-N. And I spelled it that way for a reason, because what was once unseen is now seen.
But it's also like a double entendre, because it's like scene. It could also be S-C-E-N-E, because it's an art scene.
It's the art scene.
It's also
but
art.
I feel like in the city of Richmond, we're somewhat overlooked.
I got you.
You know what I mean? And so, all right, how do we create visibility? And how do we create opportunity?
You're talking real good.
We were doing that. Yes,
Yes, sir.
So, so the art scene began, and we started doing more art walks, and we started doing more, we started curating exhibits both in and outside the gallery.
Okay.
And so spaces like Kelly Lemon and Urban Hang Suite, who's been a huge partner, and just other spaces like that are creating opportunities for artists to show their work on a continual basis, on a consistent basis. I mean, you don't know what it's like. The first or the second or third question people ask you is, where can I see your work?
Right.
And if you don't have a place that they could come to, you can now say, oh, I've got a painting hanging in Urban Hang Suite, or I've got this over here, I've got that over there. So it creates visibility for these artists. Over the last 5 years now, we're getting ready to hit our 5-year birthday next month. But over the last 5 years, we've probably done over 50 different, created 50 different opportunities for artists to showcase, to gain revenue, to just show what they all about in this, you know, in their art, and create more and more art that they could then show to the world. So,
so for that specific piece, was it like a vendor fee to do it?
When we first started, we wasn't charging anything.
Okay.
Faith gave me the opportunity. I was like, yo, she blessed me. Let me bless them, you know? And even now, like, a lot of our costs are very low, because I want to make sure we're pouring back into the artists. Because, again, there's not a lot of places. I love to say that now the city of Richmond has 3 Black-owned galleries, which, and let me just shout them out, Southside Contemporary, we've got Chromophore, and now we have High Res Gallery.
Shout out.
Support them, go see them, because they need us, right? We need places that are looking to tell our stories, where we can control the narrative.
So when Faith said, I've made space for you, out of that whole story, that stuck out to me.
Yeah, because she didn't have to. I think even like we have our supporters like Faith and Kelly and so many others that are creating space for us. I think that's a big part, because this city wasn't like, there's a lot of places that aren't creating space for us, and we clearly need it because people are looking for us. But no, that was big when she told me, I got space for you. That's huge. And again, she was like, look, there's no charge to me, so there's no charge to you.
What?
And so that first event we did, I was able to bless 12 artists. So when you talk about them artists made themselves, that money went right back in their pockets. It ain't go in my pocket. You know, so don't come looking for me for $10,000 in sales. Those artists will be able to continue to fund their dreams. So,
you're like a conduit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about opening an art gallery?
I have.
Yeah.
I think I would do it a little differently, but
Okay.
I definitely have. But again, I'm a money guy.
Mm-hmm.
You got $2,000 worth of rent. That means you got to have, if I'm selling someone as an art, the commission, how much I got to bring in. You got to have how much sales per month just to afford that. So I think I look at it a little differently in regards to what the current galleries are doing. But I do have my ideas and concepts that,
Okay.
hopefully we can do that sooner rather than later.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need a check.
Breaking news alert.
Look, I need a check.
You need a check? Yeah.
How Kelly say, I'm looking for my millions.
I know that's right. I know that's right. How'd you feel about the Giants exhibit?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the Giants exhibit.
I saw you in the newspaper.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah. The news did a really cool story where they brought some local artists, Ross Brown, Silly Genius, Chris Visions, and Atara, Sheba Young, and myself to come and view the exhibit and give our experience and tell. I think it's beautiful when people are now talking about coming to Richmond versus leaving Richmond.
Yeah.
And then I'm just looking for the butterfly effect for people to continue to look for us and check for Black art in the city, even after the Giants exhibit goes. So that's why I think it's very cool that we now have 3 places that you can go outside of February, June and see Black art.
Yeah. What do you wish artists understood earlier about sustainability and income?
Know your worth.
Know your worth.
Know your worth. So a lot of times when I meet a young artist, I talk to the pricing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you meet so many people that are like, yeah, my paint is $300. And I'm like, all right, well, I walk them through a simple math problem. I say, all right, if your painting costs $300, how much did you spend on paint and brushes and all those? And let's say they say, oh, I spent $50 or I spent $100. And I'm like, all right, well, that's $200 left. Well, how long did it take you to actually paint it? Oh, it took me like a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Divide that $200 by the number of hours. And then they realize they're making $3 an hour being an artist. And I'm like, are you comfortable with that?
That hit me.
I mean, and a lot of them aren't. And I'm like, yo,
Who is comfortable with $3 an hour?
You could just go work at a fast food restaurant if you're comfortable making $3, $4 an hour, right?
Yeah.
And so you got to know your worth. We all got bills.
But I think the thing is, and this is coming from somebody that's very ignorant to the art world. I grew up in a sheltered place.
Yeah.
I didn't go outside. I told you my background is a nurse. I was at work the whole time. So
Yeah.
the art, and I talked to you and I asked a very ignorant question before. I was like, well, what's the difference between getting it from TJ Maxx and getting it from... Remember I asked you that?
Yeah.
And your whole face changed.
You irked me a little bit.
I
with
know.
that
I'm
one.
sure
was
I
ready.
did.
Yeah.
I know. But
I mean,
for people who think like me, who are ignorant to the fact that there is local artists that we need to be looking at, what do you say to them?
I mean, you got to pour back into your community, right?
Yeah.
The same reason you go into that local spot to get your sandwich versus a chain, right? You want to support local. I think it's very important that you support local. Everybody should have at least one local artist piece hanging on their walls.
Okay.
Minimum.
Mic drop.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to support the storytellers in your community because they telling the real stories, right? You go into TJ Maxx, you don't even know who created that. A lot of them are ripoffs because they done seen someone else. Countless artists will tell you the stories about how they now see their stuff in a TJ Maxx or a Ross.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, that looked like the piece I did 5 years ago. I mean, but also, you got to look, your local artists or your storytellers of the community is unfiltered stories, right? I think your artists are the original historians. More of us knew more about our history based upon what was hanging on our wall than what was in the books.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The storytellers. I mean, that was in the movie Sinners. That's the person who they were trying to kill the hardest. Like the girl the woman that was the storyteller.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Has your art ever revealed something about you that you were not ready to face?
I don't know about that one.
Okay.
No, I mean, because I paint what I want to paint. I think I find a lot more joy in my art and try to capture a lot of that. So I don't delve too much into the dark side of life in my work. I don't. I might dive into the uncomfortable. So it does face me to look at some of my past that might not have always been the wisest of decisions. But no, I think I dive more into the joy in my work.
Okay. Well, what was that before that you saw that was uncomfortable for you in your art?
I mean, so in all my art, there's a story. sometimes I may know the inner workings of the story and I may not share it.
Okay.
There was a time where all my paintings had names and they were based on interactions with individuals. Sometimes I would change them names, because I was
You
like,
got a Nikki or Monica.
you know what I mean? But I was like, I don't want that person to know
To
I was
know.
thinking about them in this way or that way.
Got you. Okay.
Because some of them were uncomfortable conversations, right? And sometimes that will become a painting. So, yeah.
You still friends with any of those people who you have a painting named after?
Oh, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely,
okay.
yeah. But it's definitely some friends of mine that have had works based upon them, and they have no clue.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, especially when I dive more into the abstract world,
Yeah.
like it's
Well, it makes
very
sense.
abstract. Like
Yeah.
you don't see your face in it. So
Well, I was at your the exhibit you're doing now at Chromophore, and it was a girl. I don't know who the woman was,
okay,
but she was showing me a piece of art, and she's like, "That one's based off of me."
yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, cool, okay."
Yeah.
So that can be in reverse too. It can be good as well.
So one thing I've started to do in my work is shoot a lot of my references.
Oh.
And
okay.
so there was an idea I had for a concept, and we was at a Makers Mixer event, and she's a model, and I was like, "Yo, can you do this?" Because you saw the pose is kind of crazy. That's not. I was like, "Yo, I want to use you as a reference for one of my paintings." She was like, "What?" I was like, it's nothing crazy. And so I was able to kind of get her to pose the way I wanted, and then I used that as the reference for my painting. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of, so now a lot of my work, friends are now finding themselves. Ashley's another one. Like, she's in the exhibit down at Main Street. I was like, "Yo, Ashley, come here real quick."
At Main Street?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
The I Love Main Street exhibit, it just came down. But
That's not the one y'all did together, though, is
no,
it?
it was the one after that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, and we talking about Ashley Williams from the Well
yeah.
Collective. Shout out. Okay, I gotta see. I don't know. Which,
So it's
I did see that she posted it. It was was it like an abstract?
It's an abstract of her walking up the steps to the station. So yeah, now you got to be careful
that's
being.
So cool.
I tell a lot of people, you got to be careful being around me because you might find yourself in one of my paintings. So,
but that's so cool though, because
Yeah.
instead of venting,
Mhm.
well, that's how you vent.
yeah,
I would consider it an honor if I ever 10 years from now I look back. I would, because I know for one, like, I might have irked you with that one comment about the TJ Maxx, but like other than that, I don't think we had any issues so far.
Let me get that TJ Maxx contract.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna create a painting of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on everybody's wall for $10. They be putting their drinks in the vase you made.
Hey, there you go.
Few more questions.
Yeah.
How do you know when a piece is done?
You just feel it.
You feel it.
You feel it, man. I never forget an OG in the game came up to me. He's like, "Stokes, you got it the hardest." I'm like, "Yo, man, you paint photorealistic paintings of people. That's just not my lane." He was like, "Nah, but when it looked like them, I'm done." I was like, "Oh." He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You gotta feel it. There's no, in that abstract world, there's no roadmap."
Yeah. Balancing personal expression with audience interpretation. We kind of talked about this a little bit. You said you paint what you want. So
I paint what I want, but that's the beauty of the merger. I live between, my style is a combination of street art, abstracts, and cubism. And with that, I'm able to tell stories in a way that people can still find themselves in it. So I really love that, like, I may be telling one story, but someone else will see it in a different way. There's a painting I got up in the exhibit right now that people have seen in a completely different way. And I don't even want to tell them the truth because I'm like, I love that.
What's the truth?
I'm not going to tell you. But
for real, Ron?
Yeah, maybe off camera.
Okay, I take it.
You ain't going to get it on record.
I take it.
But no, I've got a couple paintings that people have seen in different ways over the years. And I just like, if that's how you see it, I'm okay. It's not in a bad way or a negative way. They just see it differently. And I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You see what you want to see. And you're able to define your own stories in my work, which I really like. So.
Okay. Who are you drawing your inspiration from?
Life. Everyone.
Basquiat or Warhol?
Both.
No. Well,
actually, I do like both. But,
you like both? Okay.
Both in their own ways. I love how Warhol used to shoot his subjects. I love the expressionism in Basquiat's work.
Okay.
I mean, Basquiat, just from beginning to end, is just a huge inspiration because he was a guy that, again, started in street art and made his way to the canvas world.
And his stuff, honestly, his stuff looked like cartoon characters to me. Maybe I just don't see.
I wouldn't even say cartoon. It's his style, which is, I mean, other artists have done that style as well. his style is just it's a simplistic nature to it.
Yeah.
That I really love. I wouldn't say cartoony.
Okay.
But no, but I love the way he's able to draw so much of life into one painting. He's able to bring so many moments into one piece. And I think I try to do that in my own way with my work, to just bring in so much of the moment.
Yeah.
Even when I do commissions, like I did a wedding one time, and through the abstracts, I was able to bring in like the patterns and the fabrics that they were wearing and just weave in different pieces of the story. So yeah, it's just a couple standing there, but I was able to weave in so much more to it.
And for some people who feel that graffiti art is vandalism, how you feel about that?
Some of it can be vandalism.
Okay.
Some of it can be art. All of it, I believe, is art. But some of it, I think that was something I had to struggle and wrestle with, even in my own stance, right? Because I was tearing up other people's stuff, and for me, there was a certain point where it just didn't sit the same with me. But also, I got tired of watching my stuff get erased. But no, it's crazy that now the vandals are being paid. So.
Yeah.
You know, I used to run away from the walls that I was painting on. Now they're paying me to paint on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Social media and art, how did it help it? Did it hurt it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, social media is very visual, and I'm a visual artist. So it definitely helps in terms of getting word out there, showcasing, and I've made a lot of great connections just through social media. Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, we have ChatGPT, who is, or at least AI, is taking over the music industry right now.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that when it comes to...
I think there's a war. You have artists that have a love-hate relationship. I think with anything, use it wisely, man. I think it's a little scary. I mean, I grew up on Terminator, man, so, you know.
Art imitates life.
I think I'm not the strongest editor when it comes to editing, grammar, and things like that.
Okay.
So I think sometimes I might use it for things like that. But in terms of like creating my own art, nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Beyonce a performative artist?
What does that even mean?
Like, I feel like she's an artist. Well, obviously she's an artist.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, she's an artist. Yeah. I mean, I think she's an amazing creative. When you look at some of the behind the scenes, she's heavily involved in all forms, from the performance to the creation. So I think she's definitely probably our Michael Jackson of the times, you know?
Okay.
Is anybody bigger than Beyonce?
In the Black community right now?
I mean, in the world. Who's doing
In the world?
Who's doing it better than Beyonce? This might get a little controversial.
I don't know. I mean, nobody. Nobody. The only other person I would say, which I'm going to be careful about it because I know I've said this before and people have not liked it, but I feel like Chris Brown could be
he's very creative.
one of the biggest artists of all time if what happened.
I think Beyonce got him beat, though.
Oh, Beyonce has him beat.
Oh,
for sure.
okay.
Beyonce has him beat for sure.
Yeah.
If I didn't make that, I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
But I think that Chris Brown could be
I think he's
a
very
good
creative.
second.
Yeah, he's very creative.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But then you jumping right past Usher?
Yes.
We be here for 10 minutes.
We go past,
half an hour, 2 hours debating Chris Brown and Usher, but
I mean,
next question.
Right. But no, I mean, I love Usher. Usher is a showman. Like
Okay.
he grew up on.
Yeah.
But I feel like Chris Brown is more my generation.
So you going Chris Brown over Usher?
I'm a millennial.
Chris Brown over Usher?
I'm gonna have to. Yeah. And yeah, me and Chris Brown are both Taurus.
Next question.
So you going Usher over Chris Brown. You going Usher over.
That catalog's deep.
That's true.
That catalog. We should move on. We should move on.
What else you want to
Comments
tell
about
them?
to be crazy on this joint.
Hey, you could listen.
They about
you
to be
can say
like,
what you
go
wanna
to the
say.
39-minute marker. It goes down.
You can say what you want to say on here.
That's true.
This is the More Than Money podcast.
All right.
You can say how you feel.
Okay.
But man, is there anything else you got coming up? Anything that we can support you in? How can
so
we
one of
follow
the
you?
biggest things I have coming up that I'm very proud of, over the years, I told you the art scene, we're always looking at, all right, what's going on outside of Richmond, and what can we bring to Richmond to help and to create more opportunity, right? And so one thing I kept seeing were print fairs. I said, yo, how do we do that for us in the city of Richmond? And I never forget, a great partner to us has always been Hardywood, and I brought the idea to them, and I brought it to Faith. I said, yo, I want to do a African American print fair.
Y'all have done that before, haven't you?
We did the first one last year.
I was there.
Were you there?
Yes, I was there.
Okay. And
Yep.
so as you saw, it was an elevated event.
Mm-hmm.
We had Danielle Elder on the violin doing
Mhm.
R&B. Like Danielle Elder doing Alicia Keys was crazy on the violin. Her, Tevin Campbell. I
Yeah.
mean, like it was just. And then we had just under 20 artists showcasing their print work. And I loved it. I love the print world because it just creates another lane for artists to showcase their work and to create new collectors of their work. But it's a lot more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
You might not have the 2,000 for the painting, but maybe you got the 20 for the print. And so we did it last year. It was a very successful day for everyone from the artists. It was one of Hardywood's biggest Sundays.
Yeah.
It was just a great day. And so we bringing it back.
Yeah.
We ain't even dropped it on socials yet. You
Ooh.
getting a sneak peek.
Ooh.
March 22nd,
Ooh.
Hardywood.
We love a breaking news
Yes.
alert around here.
March 22nd at Hardywood. We'll be doing the second annual Impressions of Us.
Okay, and it was a pretty big turnout too. Y'all
Big
had-
turn.
you
I
gotta
mean,
get
it was
there early.
huge. I mean,
Food
it was
trucks.
yeah.
had
I mean,
everything
we
out
had
there.
food. Of course, Hardywood had the pours pouring. But yeah, they came back to me and they were like, "Ron, this is one of the biggest Sundays we've had in a very long time here."
Yeah,
So the support was very real. So I'm excited to run it back this year.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's coming up next for the art scene. I'm traveling with my art starting up. So from
Yeah.
DC to Atlanta to New York, we'll start moving around, showcasing my artwork again. And
Okay.
I'm excited for it. The exhibit is up through February. So Black and Blue. We'll be doing some fun programming.
I see,
with
and I
that.
see you're doing. I'm just on your Instagram page right now, but
Ooh.
you're on the We Influence Summit.
We Influence Summit in March.
Yeah.
Excited about that. I'll be on one of the panels talking
Okay.
about just, again, my experiences. So shout out to Mostly Sugar, who's been a great partner. I came to Erica from Mostly Sugar a year ago
Mm-hmm.
and was like, yo, it's been in my heart to just create something where creatives could just sit, vibe, and connect.
Oh, love.
And we started doing the Movers and Makers Mixer January 2025. And I mean, 70 people showed up to the first one. And I was like, oh, this is something the city
That's needed.
wants. And
Mhm.
so, man, over the last year, we've had over 1,000 people sign up and attend that.
Yeah.
We do it every month, second Tuesday. Can't always tell you where because
Right.
we try to be very intentional.
Discreet and well,
'Cause-
yeah.
Because anybody can make a happy
Right.
hour,
Right.
Anybody can create opportunity for people to hang out and party, but we
Mhm.
try to be very intentional on making sure that this is for creatives.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, by us, and
Yeah.
you've been to them before.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, all types
Y'all
of
had
creatives.
I don't know if I went to the first one.
Okay.
Somebody sent me the link. It was so funny because I was like, dang, in order to really know about stuff in Richmond, you gotta
Yeah.
know somebody that knows
Yeah.
somebody, and they gotta know. Sometimes they gotta know you black. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if
I mean,
I mean, like because I was
Yeah.
getting it from somebody who loved dearly, but she don't really. I know if she hit me up,
yeah,
I need to be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Yeah.
not somebody that's just gonna send me something.
yeah,
But yeah, like I met Erica there.
yep.
I believe I might have met you there. Yeah, that was the first
That's
time,
the first time
you and
we
I
met?
had spoke.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And so just from the inception of this to
Yeah.
now, I go, you guys have like a vendor and a
Well, not-
spotlight, not a vendor,
Yeah,
but
not
like
a vendor, but like
Was it a
again,
sponsor?
so we do we bring in sponsors, but again, it's all about intentionality.
Right.
We're bringing in people that bring value to you as a
Yeah,
creator.
yeah.
So over the last few months, from Culture Works to
Culture Works. Yeah, I met Callie from Culture
Yeah,
Works. Yeah.
Culture Works came in and told a group of I think we had about 60 people that night
Yep.
about grants that were available.
Yeah.
And 90% of the people didn't even know that there were grants out there that they could be applying for to support them as creatives.
Mhm.
So we've had some really good partners from MBL this
Mhm.
month, Black RVA,
Mm.
and that specifically speaking of content creation
Mhm.
for the city of Richmond. They were bringing folks from other cities, and it was
Mhm.
like, well, we got dope content creators in the city. What happens if we bring them into the room and tell them about what y'all are doing
Yeah.
and how to jump on that? I mean, they're connected to Richmond Tourism, who is promoting the state of Virginia through all ways. So why not partner up with creatives in the city and create opportunities for them, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I think we try to be very intentional about making sure you're aware of what's going on, but also connecting with other people. Because
Yeah.
again, we talked about like all these different creatives that I hired to support me as an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Now you know who, like that same thought process I just led you through. Well, how do I find the people? They all at the Makers Mixer.
Yeah. That's true. And also, when Callie was speaking about culture work, she made a really important point. She's like, yo, how many of y'all like bought a new outfit to come out here?
Mm-hmm.
How many of you guys, had to get something to eat before you came, or had to schedule childcare, whatever?
Yeah.
She's like, creatives pour money into this city.
Yeah.
Like, you had to buy something. You had to support your community in order to be here tonight.
Yep.
So that's when she was talking about like the different grants and stuff. Like, I've never thought about myself as a creative and how I contribute. I know I'm a creative. I'm trying to make this sound right.
Okay.
But I've never thought of like me going to an event, how it impacts the city in that way.
I mean, everything
I might have
did,
I might have got like a little manicure, something.
Yeah. No, I mean, everything you do affects the city. I mean, and then awareness. You know what I mean? So, like, when you post that you went to this restaurant or you went to this event,
absolutely,
you're promoting the city.
The Lynn, yep.
You know? And so, again, like, we have a very powerful voice. So, how do we cultivate that and get it out there so everybody can hear it and see it? So,
yeah. Oh, my gosh. This has been such an amazing interview. I'm about to end it off, but before I do, I just want to make sure that we get your quote. A quote that's been getting you through, a saying, a song lyric, something that's been getting you through it.
Man, I got a few that I've been, of course I got my 3 songs that get me right whenever I need to just change my headspace. One of them is a little problematic.
What's that?
But no, I got 3 songs whenever I need to get my head right. One got me through college, which was Kanye West, Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Okay.
Wait till I get my money right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jay-Z, Picasso Baby, and Rick Ross, Purple Lamborghinis.
Okay.
Yeah, just 3 very random songs that will get me in the right headspace. Quote-wise, I got a few, but one that just jumped in my head, so that's the one I'm going to share, is the great Hamilton Glass, a good friend, once told me years ago, let your no's protect your yeses. You can't say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to say no, but it's so you can say yes to the right things.
You know what? I appreciate when people come up here and say that because, y'all didn't have to say yes to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could have told you no.
You absolutely could have.
I think what you're doing is valuable, so I definitely had to pull up and support that.
Yes,
but sometimes you got to say no to stuff so you can say yes to the right things. I could have said yes to something else that would have prevented me from being here right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because we rescheduled a few times. But,
that was weather and other things.
That was
related.
And I had COVID. Yeah.
But no, I'm happy to pull up and support you. I love what you're doing. I think financial literacy in our community is one of the biggest things we got to promote and push.
I think it's the new civil rights issue.
Debt is definitely a form of enslavement. Lack of financial freedom is definitely a form of enslavement because you're not able to do the things you want to do because you got to go earn some more money to pay for the stuff you bought 2 years ago.
And I've said this before too. Like, I know the revolution may not be televised, but I think that it should definitely be monetized. Just go around. However way. I just don't feel like we need to rely on other entities to help us. They haven't helped us thus far.
Yeah.
So. Anyways, thank you so much, Mr. Ron Stokes.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yo, this was such a you used to doing this because we were flowing. You were flowing. But thank you for sitting with me in this conversation. If something resonated with you guys, don't rush past it. Explore it. Money touches every part of our lives, but it does not define our worth. Until next time, stay curious, stay intentional, and remember, this is always about more than money. Peace.